Hi guys, and welcome back to my Ultimate Zodiac Showdown series. Yes, we're on to the square segment of the series. I did make the trine signs compatibility, so I'm going to provide a link to the full playlist somewhere in the description or around here as well. In today's video, we are going to be discussing Scorpio versus Aquarius. These two signs then are both fixed signs, with Scorpio being a fixed water sign and Aquarius being a fixed air sign. For more information all about the fixed signs within astrology, then go check out my fixed signs video for a deeper understanding. In the trine segment, I did talk about the major differences between the signs elements, but seeing as I made videos touching on the differences between the signs, qualities or modes for the purpose of the square segment, we're going to be talking about compatibility straight away. And then at the end, I'm going to provide some advice on how both of these signs can have a more successful relationship with one another. You're not gonna get any disharmonious aspect fears here. Alright, so when it does come to compatibility, this can apply for you if you have your Venus as well as your sun, moon or rising within either of these signs. And then after, we're gonna touch on the Mars sign. Here we have a Scorpion coming head to head with a human carrying a vessel or pitcher of water. Let's just stop for one moment. Yeah, it doesn't take long to realize that this combination doesn't sound very good, does it? And when it comes to Scorpion and human interactions, Scorpions are feared for being venomous and deadly by humans. And because of this, naturally, most humans avoid interaction with Scorpions altogether. But don't get it mixed up, because, well, Scorpions, they do not really go out of their way to sting people. Their natural inclination is to flee or give a threat display when disturbed. And if a sting does occur, it's usually because the Scorpion is being crushed to the skin. And when it does come to water, well, Scorpions can survive on just the moisture that they get from their prey, and they can live underwater for at least 48 hours. Yes, they can even go for as long as a year without food. The reason for why Scorpions can live so long underwater is because they have something that's called book lungs. These are not lungs in the sense of inhaling or exhaling like ours. They are layers of membranes, like the pages of a book. And it's these membranes that trap and hold oxygen. And since Scorpions don't need that much oxygen to begin with, they can store enough to get by for a few days. No wonder these Scorpios can stay in their cave for days, even weeks on end. So already what we are noticing here is that whilst the water bearer can survive just fine without the Scorpion, likewise the Scorpion can survive just fine without the water bearer. With that being said, Scorpions still do require a drop or two of water from time to time. A drop of water that the water bearer wants to provide, but if the Scorpion gets too close, well, they just might run away. And this right here suggests that Scorpio can be a little bit more demanding than Aquarius. See, Aquarius has such a cool attitude to them that everything is chill, everything is all good. So in a relationship, everything's cool, it's all good, just chill, cool, chill. Aquarius isn't so much about openly acknowledging what they possess either, nor do they really like displaying what they have, unless it comes through their mind and their intelligence, of course. Scorpio, on the other hand, Scorpio starts to feel itself to be the greedy one who demands a lot from Aquarius, both physically and emotionally. Meaning that when Scorpio and Aquarius are together, Scorpio might feel like the one who's trying to take more in that regard, because emotional needs in a relationship are a must for Scorpio. But boy, oh boy, is Scorpio left somewhat disappointed. And this leads to Scorpio feeling slightly self-conscious because, well, it's an emotional hunger that Aquarius just can't seem to provide. For Scorpio, our relationship must be deep. They are able to read into the potential partner and really understand what they need. And if not threatened, they will do their utmost to meet their partner's needs. The level of intimacy for a Scorpio is powerful. It's them who crave eroticism, and they possess this capacity for enduring loyalty and love. They strongly desire a relationship that screams, "You're mine," and that's it. It's this heavy, heavy element to how a Scorpio loves that expects a similar primitive attitude in return from their partner. In fact, no one experiences a relationship with a Scorpio without changing in some sort of way. And what I mean by that is that each person that comes out of a relationship with a Scorpio, whether that be from ending well or not so well, they will leave viewing life deeper than before. I actually have a friend who is a Scorpio with his Venus in Scorpio, and he told me about how the sex life of those he works with improves drastically after meeting him. He will openly discuss his sex life amongst them. Last week we were even sitting in Starbucks and he just gets his phone out and starts showing me these, well, pics. I'll let you know what types of pics they were. I was mortified. I was mortified. Like, seriously, just don't do that. Stop. People do become much more sexual when they are around him, so he says. Though on that note, I would like to share a quick personal experience of mine, seeing as I am an Aquarius. I actually I don't even know if I would say I dated a Scorpio guy. Well, I'd say we saw each other every now and then, if that makes sense. This was whenever I was about 17 or 18, and even though he was addicted to certain things, there were things that I truly admired about him. To be fair, he does have a Capricorn rising and my Venus is in Capricorn, so that adds another layer. But still, I admired his eyes, his smile, his insight. And actually on that note, the Scorpio Midheaven video that I made, the parody, I played Karma Police by Radiohead. That was inspired by him because he introduced me to that song. But what I did realize from hanging out with him is that he would hold most of the conversation. And this is the thing that I notice with many Scorpios that I have in my life, that I know personally. And I'm pretty cool with it, right? I'm pretty cool that they want to hold that conversation. But yet it's not something that I can progress further with. I can't fully articulate everything that I want to say because it feels like they want to dominate and hold that space, which again, I'm cool and fine with, but it just means that I can't properly, come out with all that I want to say. I do love to have intellectual discussions, yet my opinions, they sort of seem to be overpowered in conversation when I'm with a Scorpio. But regardless, guys, I came out of that experience with this Scorpio guy much more aware in my belief system, in that my belief system was held under this deep analysis, so to speak, and it forced me to question my religious views and my morals. He even introduced me to different political views on things. Come to think about it, we are still on good terms today and we respect each other, and I value him as a person. And I think that there is this respect between Scorpio and Aquarius. I have 3 Scorpios in my life that I can think of, and also my 2 Scorpio brothers in my life. But what I find in common between them in relation to me is that we're all very loyal amongst one another. Oh, and when it comes to money, there is no fighting with a Scorpio. What I've learned is that if they want to pay for the bill, let them pay for the bill. Let them pay. And what I've also learned is that they really admire when you bite back. Yes, a Scorpio will certainly show some admiration towards those who are willing to stand their ground. I mean, think about it. They're co-ruled by Mars. and so they appreciate the courage and this being strong, because they're strong in themselves. Therefore, when in a relationship with a Scorpio, I certainly would expect crisis and blow-ups. So let's now discuss Aquarius, shall we? Whereas Scorpio lives in a world of emotion, Aquarius lives in a world of ideas. And quite honestly, they are slightly terrified of emotion. Kind of like the human, as discussed at the beginning, you know? Who was terrified of the scorpion. In fact, an Aquarius isn't so much about courtship or romance. Oh, no. Aquarius can be super naive when it comes to matters of the heart. They aren't all that easily understood when it comes to love. Aquarius sort of just sits there with, you know, the daisies that you get? I think it's the daisy, and you pick off the petals and you say, he loves me not, he loves me not. Well, Aquarius says the opposite. I love him not. I love him not. I love him not. No, I love him not. Now what I mean by that is that Aquarius will tell their lover the honest truth in the moment. Fast forward to the next day and they're not quite sure of where they last left off from before. Now that's not to say that they don't love their partner. It's more that they get stuck in their mind. Just a second ago when I was talking about this Aquarius guy who I was like, did I date him? Were we seeing each other? What was it? I don't even know. Does it have to have a label? Does it have to have a label? Even a few months back, I dated this Leo guy and he asked me twice, I think, so Hannah, are we an item? Like, are we together? Are we boyfriend, girlfriend? I'm thinking, yes, we are. But does it need to have a label? But we are, though. We are. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I know, it's relatively confusing. Whenever I have made previous videos about certain relationships and love life, I'm a little all over the place when it comes to such things. I may have my Venus in Capricorn, and I may have many aspects to that Venus. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. I do also have Venus conjunct Uranus, and the Aquarius sun plays into my overall personality, so yeah. What even is my love life anyway? But again, that is not to say that an Aquarius does not love their partner, okay? They love. It's just that they are so up here than in here that they can often forget that they're more than just a brain. Meaning, guys, that when it does come to a relationship, they are highly curious and they enjoy intellectual stimulation from their partner. So they're going to be greatly attracted to those who can match them intellectually. So with this information so far, we notice instantly that Scorpio craves emotional intimacy when in a relationship, whilst Aquarius craves intellectual intimacy. What's that term? Sapiosexual? Yes. Sapiosexual apparently is someone who finds sexual stimulation from the way a person's mind works. It makes them literally attracted to intelligence. Though they aren't the types to spend hours upon hours with their erotic fantasies in the same way Scorpio does. Furthermore, Aquarius wants to be friends with their partner first and foremost, if anything. In fact, friendship to an Aquarius just might mean more than a romantic affair. This is because romantic relationships to an Aquarius are just much too complicated. While Scorpio can get so caught up in the entire definition of love that instead of saying, whatever makes you happy, I'm happy. No. As explained by Liz Green, Scorpio's attitude is, whatever makes you happy without me, you will pay. Also, while Scorpio possesses this black, empty hole of obsessiveness which can lead them to potential manipulation, Aquarius doesn't appear to have a manipulative bone in their body, in which the Aquarius can appear to be this open book in comparison to Scorpio. Though Aquarius isn't as bright and shiny, or sunny rather, like Leo, but it's more that Aquarius is inviting. They are taking that vessel, that pitcher of water, and they're giving it to the world, while Scorpio just sits there feeling as if they are being left dry. And what could this possibly result in? Well, it could result in Scorpio feeling slightly jealous. Though, that's not to say that Aquarius doesn't get jealous, because trust me, Aquarius gets jealous. Yes. Aquarius is like, "Look, Scorpio, look at the world around you." And Scorpio responds, "I'm looking, but I certainly don't see what you see." In which the water bearer seems to view Scorpio as much too mysterious in order to be truly appreciated intellectually. And Scorpio doesn't accept anything at face value, so they might get caught up in their investigative character as they feel into the complexities of the details. They might look to Aquarius and wonder, how can you switch so quickly from being fully engaged in conversation with me to such dispassion and disinterest? Also keep in mind here that these signs are two fixed signs, meaning that they are highly stubborn. And whilst one of them is in the heavens and the other is in the underworld, well, it's safe to say that Aquarius wants Scorpio to rise up into the sky and not be so in their feelings, while Scorpio wants to bring Aquarius down into the dark and address what lies underneath. How do they even possibly manage to cross paths in the first place? Just as Linda Goodman states, the elements of air and water are not mutually able to destroy each other, suggesting that these two signs, well, they might just ignore one another. Now, even though I did say that Scorpio is super investigative, the thing about Aquarius is that they also like to know how people work and what makes them tick just as much. Both Aquarius and Scorpio, they love psychology for these reasons. Both of you will try to probe into each other's secrets, making you both detectives. Yet, whilst it's Scorpio who is more subtle about getting information from others, Aquarius is much more direct. These two signs, they want to learn everything there is to know about the other. And there is this mutual understanding that comes along with this. I personally think that this is one of their strengths when it comes to compatibility. What's super interesting here is that Scorpio can't quite unravel Aquarius as much as they can towards the other signs. And I think that Scorpio really enjoys this. Aquarius is skating on that fixed water of ice that is Scorpio without actually allowing the ice to melt in order to feel into it. Like I said, Aquarius can do that switch where they instantly detach, all while Scorpio sits there feeling everything like it's all too much. But don't be fooled, because Scorpio still does possess an edge to get more information pulled out of Aquarius without revealing too much about themselves. Yeah, Scorpio might view Aquarius as cold, whilst Aquarius views Scorpio as cold, all whilst the two of them feel just as isolated as the other, but in different ways. Neither of these signs feel all that understood by others, and both of them are capable of reacting oddly to simple social interactions. And both of them are rather comfortable with being alone. How these two ever managed to get in a relationship in the first place is beyond me. But even when they do decide to get into a relationship, where's the flexibility? Alright, so moving on to Mars in Scorpio and Mars in Aquarius compatibility. We have here an arachnid, the scorpion, with a venomous tail and claws, and the water bearer who kneels as he pours his offering of water in act of modest service. But the free-flowing water symbolism of Aquarius, it bears no relation to the heavenly pregnant ocean of the psyche as portrayed by the water signs, and keeping in mind that, well, Scorpio is a water sign. It's more that the pouring of the water seeks only to cleanse, illuminate, and purify. In fact, it's the absent-mindedness of Aquarius that can come in handy when it comes to forgetting about old wounds. So when it does come to disputes and arguments between these two signs, Aquarius can get over things rather quickly, even if they are extremely harsh with their words, using them at a lightning speed. They also don't hold on to the past, okay? They're not going to hold on to those past run-ins, and they would just much rather move forward. Scorpio, on the other hand, Scorpio has somewhat of a very long memory, and so they can hold a grudge due to this reason. They will very much remember. And even though they can maintain their composure during a dispute or argument, just like a pot on a stove, if it's left for too long, that boiling water will just overflow and cause havoc, destroying the surrounding areas. Aquarius, good luck calming them down or asking for forgiveness, for that matter. I think is a major difference between Scorpio and Aquarius when it comes to their anger, because Aquarius, they forgive and get over things a lot quicker, whereas Scorpio, they dwell. So with all of that being said, guys, how can these two signs of Scorpio and Aquarius, how can they have a more successful relationship with one another? Let's start by addressing anger and any disputes or arguments. First, you must see that the argument is something to be resolved. If not, you're just going to get even more upset and have a very unhappy relationship. It's not about winning the fight, but it's rather about resolving the issue. What's good here is that both of you are willing to address the situation at hand. But what's not so good is that whilst you can get over it fairly quickly, Aquarius, Scorpio won't let it slide just as fast. Say for example, Aquarius, you called them a name that really hurt them. It would be within your interest to apologize and make it your duty not to do it again. Do not let it become this recurring theme. It's about building up that rapport with Scorpio. Likewise, Scorpio, it's important that you accept the apology from Aquarius, and whilst you want to make sure that it doesn't happen again, try not to be on the lookout for it all the time, where you sort of want to go, aha, yes, I knew it, I knew you would do it again. It's about the two of you maintaining this level of respect between each other. But still, I do understand that if there is a major issue, it's important for both of you to assess the issue in your own space first before coming out to discuss it openly. So I suggest going over these things, and then when you come and you meet, you will have a lot more clarity about the situation. It's ultimately about asking yourselves, what am I willing to tolerate in this relationship, and what am I not willing to tolerate? Also, Aquarius, don't just expect Scorpio to get over things as quickly as you either. Overall, it's important for both of you to address your stubborn nature and instead meet the other person through mutual understanding. Aquarius, you value mental stimulation when in a relationship, and this is something Scorpio can certainly provide you with. Perhaps not in the same way that you want, but it's important for you to understand that not everybody is going to think the same way you do. Not everybody is going to be interested in the same things that you are interested in. It would be good for you to be a little bit more flexible when it comes to your mind. Likewise, Scorpio, it would be a good idea to really listen to Aquarius before arriving to instant conclusions. Allow Aquarius to finish what they want to say, for example. And I know that you're highly intuitive and you're able to finish Aquarius' sentences, But the thing you gotta keep in mind or understand about Aquarius is that they enjoy the art of conversation. They enjoy sharing their knowledge with other people. Having said that though, I do think that Aquarius will think it's pretty cool that you can do that, because I think that they're gonna feel a lot more understood by you in that regard. Scorpio, you value emotional intensity in a relationship. And whilst it seems as though Aquarius cannot provide this within the relationship, please understand that it doesn't mean Aquarius doesn't feel or have emotions, or that they don't, well, love you. It's just that it's difficult for them to process their emotions the same way that you do. Even though you'll look at them and you'll question, how are you getting over these things so quickly? Even though you might be sitting there thinking, well, they're just heartless. No. It's more that Aquarius wasn't sure as to which emotion should go with that situation. The amount of times that I will question, do I feel happy right now? Do I feel sad right now? But my Aries moon will just kick in when it needs to, and it will bring everything up to the surface and unleash it all. Yes, my moon is also in my 8th house, so I can relate to somewhat emotional intensities. But once the fire dies down, I sit there once again. How do I feel? Basically what I'm trying to say here, Scorpio, is to try to not mistake their uncertainty of emotion for their uncertainty of loving you. Likewise, Aquarius, don't underestimate the intensity of Scorpio's emotions, because you might have the tendency of dismissing how Scorpio feels. It's really this back and forth between emotion and thought that is playing out between the two of you, but in ways that are just as deep as each other. Ultimately, I think that the two of you can learn so much from one another when it comes to human behavior, meaning that you can grow and evolve with each other through understanding the other's motives. You can unravel many secrets about each other, resulting in this healing process. Scorpio, you have the ability to transform and heal the person that you are in a relationship with. And so when it comes to Aquarius, you do it by penetrating any emotions that they have been repressing unknowingly. Likewise, Aquarius, you have the ability to shake Scorpio from the inside out suddenly. You can electrify them with a greater awareness of any unconscious negative thoughts that they possess, resulting in both of you bringing things to light for the other. And I think that this can result in a strong bond between the two of you, a bond that remains loyal while you continue to grow through both crisis and enlightenment. Okay guys, so that concludes my video on Scorpio versus Aquarius compatibility. If you do happen to have your Venus or even your Sun, Moon, or Rising in either of these signs, or your Mars as well, then let us know in the comment section any experiences that you have. Yes. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and if you would like to keep updated with when the next video will be and you've not yet subscribed, next one's going to be Aquarius versus Taurus, then yeah, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye!